In this video, I will show you how you can bake this in only 55 minutes. In this video, we will bake a nice and fast Nemerson bread. These are the ingredients. You need a baking form, a bowl, and a whisk tool. Let's go. The first thing you need, 300 grams of lukewarm water, 40 grams of fresh yeast. You pour it in, get your whisk tool, and whisk properly. It has to dissolve 100%. Look beneath the glass jar and it looks nice. Next thing you need, 20 grams of grounded psyllium or psyllium powder. Get it in and whisk. And now you let it soak for 5 minutes. You need a kitchen scale and a large mixing bowl like this one. The next ingredient is 1 egg. Get it in. Now we add 60 grams of sugar. Okay, now we take our whisk tool again and we whisk. You can also use a hand mixer. Why not use some manpower for this one? Training and baking in one step. This gives you big muscles. It gets fluffier and fluffier. Okay, back to the kitchen scale. The next ingredient, 35 grams of grapeseed oil. And as always, use grapeseed oil, not some olive oil or anything like that, because it will not tolerate high temperatures like grapeseed oil does. Okay, the next ingredient, white rice flour, and we need 140 grams. The next ingredient is oat flour, and we need 110 grams. And then I use some nice flavor from cardamom, and I use 4 grams of this one. We also need some salt, pinch of salt, 1 or 2 grams. And the last ingredient is 8 grams of baking powder. You can watch our video how to make your own starch-free baking powder. It takes only 2 minutes and is made of 3 ingredients. Of this one we need 8 grams. And it has to be exactly 8 grams, not 9 grams or something like this. This one is crucial. And now we use the larger whisk tool. And we whisk it in, everything. Okay, now we get our psyllium jelly and pour it into the bowl. At this stage I use a spatula to mix everything up properly. Of course you can use a food processor or a ninja blender, but this is the very basic method to bake an easy gluten-free bread without any machines. You keep on going until this becomes a smooth dough. This is a step where I get my nitrile gloves. I use these food-safe gloves at this stage because I don't like messy hands. And you just keep on blending this dough with your fingers until it becomes perfect, and it will. You can add some rice flour at the top. Okay, that's it. Okay, perfect. And now the dough is ready for deployment. Let's get this dough inside the baking form. And I use such a medium-sized baking form for this one. Wrap it up. If you wrap it up, it's more easy to get it inside the form. And now we add some rice flour, a little bit. And get the dough inside the form. Like this. Stretch it out so it fills the form. And now we get a little bit of water on top. And I only use bottled filtered water. We stretch it out like this and make the top of the dough nice and smooth. Even it out. Because this dough will rise at least double the size. So it will come out of the form. Like this. Now to give it the final touch, take a knife and cut across on top. Yeah. And some rice flour. Like this. Now the dough with the form is ready, and let's get it into a plastic bag. To keep the moisture inside the dough while it's rising, we need a plastic bag and some clips. Get it inside. Close it up with this clips. And now you leave this dough for at least 20 to 30 minutes while it rises. It's baking time, and look, the dough has risen after only 15 minutes. And now we will fire up our oven or air fryer. It doesn't matter. And the oven or air fryer has to be at a temperature of 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit at hot air. And while our oven gets heated up, we let the bread rise even more. It looks like this. So the dough has now risen for 30 minutes and it is ready for the baking process. Let's have a look. First we need to get it out of the plastic bag. And it looks like this. Almost like a usual gluten bread. Let's get it inside the oven. And now we give it 55 minutes at 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. After 55 minutes, the bread is finally ready. Let's get it out of the oven. Looks like this. And we need a cooling rack to cool down. Fast test. This is a very light bread. Very hot. And it looks like this. We let it cool down for at least 30 minutes before we cut in this bread. And now it's once again tasting time. Let's get the knife. Looks like this. A slice of this bread. And this time I will taste it without anything. Perfect morning bread. I think it will taste great in the toasted version. Light and delicious. Give it a try. And now I'm tasting the roasted version. Ta-da! Slice of bread. And I will taste this one with some raspberry jam and a little bit of salted butter. The bread, the salted butter, and now the raspberry jam. This one is actually without food additives and not homemade. Great, let's give it a try. Even better. Great. And so easy to make. Perfect morning bread. Give it a try.